Hi, welcome to the AnyLogic conference. This is the European, Middle East and Africa track one, and welcome to you all. I hope you'll join us for in welcoming Mr. Hemant Kumar Bansal from Tata Steel, who will have a presentation for us starting right now. Welcome. Oh, Hemant, you're on mute.
Okay.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah. So this presentation is on simulate and optimize the utilization of resources in a steel manufacturing company lime plant feeding circuit. So Tata Steel Group is one of the world's most geographically diversified steel producer with an annual crude steel capacity of 34 million ton per annum. Tata Steel, with its subsidiaries, associates, and joint ventures, is spread across 5 continents with an employee base of over 65,000. This group recorded a consolidated turnover of INR USD 21.2 billion in financial year 2021. We have also received the Deming Grand Prize in 2012. Tata Steel also recognized among India's Great Place to Work in large organization categories in 2020. We are the first steel manufacturer in India to receive CII Green Pro certification for 4 of our products. Yeah, the problem is like that. Like lime is the most important flux used in the LD steel making process. The development of LD process call for stringent control on the quality and a steady purpose supply of lime. Tata Steel lime plant has 9 kilns, and limestone is sourced from Jaisalmer, Dubai, Oman, Khajuraho, and Vietnam. Limestone reached in the Tata Steel plant in wagons from source and unloaded in tipler. From tipler, it sends to primary screen house by conveyor belts and passes through double-deck screening process. After screening, material is transferred to storage bin and then in surge bins. From surge bins, in again passes through single-deck screening process and then transfer in way hoppers. From hoppers, material is dropped in kiln from top by a skip bucket. Currently, this feeding circuit is seems to be underutilized and run for 24 hours unnecessarily. So the objective of this project is to optimize and schedule the limestone reclaiming process to maximize the utilization of feeding circuit as well as to reduce running hours. So for this problem, we approach the simulation model techniques. So the introduction of is like that. There is a lime kiln which is used for the cancellation of limestone, which is calcium carbonate to produce the form of lime, which is called quick lime, calcium oxide. Calcination of lime is a chemical process when calcium carbonate is heated above 900 degrees centigrade, so it decomposes in the calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. Coke oven gas and blast furnace gases are used as a fuel in the kilns. The lime produced must meet the requirement of high calcium oxide availability, high reactivity for faster dissolution, and low loss of ignition for reduced consumption. And lime plant has 9 kilns and kiln capacity varies from 300 to 600 ton per day. So this is the conveying circuit. There is a tippler where wagons are tippled, and the material is transferred after that in the storage yard. And storage yard there is one stacker and reclaimer. From that material, limestone is reclaimed and sent to the double deck screen. So and below 25 material is lower size, and above 80 material is oversized. In between material is passed sent to further to storage and surge bins. Again, after that, material is sent to secondary screening. So before below 25 material is sent for the center plant, and above material is charged to the lime kilns. This is limestone material balancing. So again, limestone is first sent to double deck screen, where lower size below 25 is 17 to 20%, and oversized material is 2 to 4%, and remaining 77% material is further sent to secondary screen, which is one screen where lower size material is 3 to 4%, which is again sent to sinter plant, and remaining material is sent to kiln for charging. Again, kiln charging yield factor is 50 to 70% because carbon dioxide is go away in the environment. This is the kiln structure and process. We are not going inside this. Yeah, this is lime plant feeding circuit layout in the Tata Steel. So there is a tippler. From tippler, material goes to the stockyard, and in the stockyard there is a stacker reclaimer. From stacker reclaimer, we reclaim the material, and material goes to the bin bun. In the bin bun, there is a 4-way feeder, WF1, 2, 3, 4, and WF3, 4 are connected to LSC5 conveyor belt. WF1, 2 are connected to LSC6. LSC5 is connected to double deck screen 1, and LSC6 are connected to double deck screen 2. Again, double deck screen 1 material goes to bin number 3 and bin number 2, and from double deck screen material goes to bin 4. Bin 3 is connected to 7 number kiln, and bin 2 is connected to 1 to 6 number kiln, and bin 4 is connected to MK 8 and 9 number kiln. So, and this is the circuit for kiln number 1 to 5. Yeah, so we have seen there are 4 number of bins: bin 1, 2, 3, and 4. Bin 1 is not considered as a storage bin. This is just for passing the material, and bin 2 is the storage bin, and it is served for kiln number 1 to 6. Bin 3 is served for kiln number 7, and bin 4 served for 8 and 9 kilns. There are surge bin near the kiln, and there are total 6 surge bin: 2 near to the 1 2 kiln, 1 is for near to the 5 number kiln, and 2 is near to the 3 4 number kiln, and 1 near to the 6 number kiln. Kiln number 7, 8, and 9 are directly connected to the storage bin. So we can see there is a varieties of the process in the circuit. And here all the parts are connected to the via the conveyor belt. From lime tippler is connected to bin 1, and bin 1 is connected to double decker screen 1 and 2. DD screen 1 is connected to bin number 3 and 2, and double decker screen 2 is connected to bin number 4. And bin 2 is connected to one number 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Conveyor belt TPH varies from 200 to 1200 ton per hour. So for this developing this simulation model, we have used AnyLogic, and in AnyLogic we have used, this is the layout in the AnyLogic, and we have used fluid library with bulk material in the AnyLogic to develop the logic of this model. Yeah. So we have developed the following logic in the AnyLogic model. So in the circuit, bin 1 has two. Circuit, bin 1 has 2 outflows, but in AnyLogic, tank block has 1 outflows only. So fluid split block is used after tank block, and fluid select output and fluid select input blocks are used to change from one tank to another in the same location, which are sometimes considered as source and sometimes considered as a destination in the model. Fluid split is used to separate larger and smaller size limestone from screening process. We were observing following parameters like storage and surge bin status, conveyor belt running status and TPH, material distribution, total available stock, and production rate. So we have started with the as scenario case 1, like what is the we have taken the average current production, what is going on, and we have run the simulation model on that data, and we find out that only 1 shift reclaiming is enough to run the plant whole, which is currently running 3 shift operations. So we have to do reclaiming from the storage yard to storage yard to storage bins only for 1 shift. From the right side chart, you can see only A shift is green, and B and C shift, all the TPH are equivalent to 0. And we have also maintained in this scenario, all the bin stocks are maintained with the 20% to 100% capacity. So same thing is showing again. So here you can see storage yard to stock yard to storage bin circuit is running, will be required to run only for 1 shift, which is A shift. For B and C shift, it can be turned off. Still, the whole production can be continue with the current production rate. So storage bins to kill with circuit will run for 24 hours. After that, we run the case 2 scenario to find the bottlenecks in the circuit. So we have find out that bin 2 is a one constraint. So because of that, from kill number 1 to 6, we can take the production a limited quantity. We have find out that quantity, and way feeder 3 and 4 is also another constraint. So from kill number 1 to 7, we also can find out that that much production we can take only. We cannot go beyond that. So right until this scenario, surge bin are not considered in this case. We will start surge bin utilization from case 3. So here you can see in the left chart, the bin 2 stock is touching to the highest capacity of this bin. So this became the constraint, and in the right chart you can see way feeder 3 and 4 TPH is touching its highest capacity, so it's becoming constraint. We have started taken case 3 for surge bin utilization. Okay, what will be the effect of surge bin utilization in the circuit? And here we can see with the use of surge bin utilization, bin 2 constraint is bin 2 constraint can be released, and it will not be required further. But in that case, we have taken the surge bin stock is at the 20% level only, so there is a space. So reclaiming material can be stored in the surge bin material. So 20 bin 2 will not be a no more constraint. And 600 TPH constraint will be still there. And we also find that surge bin 1-2 stock is only sufficient to take 6 hour production. After that, they again need to refill. Yeah, we have taken after that we have did the analysis for buffer stock, because it is required for the unplanned breakdown and shutdown in the circuit. So we also find out obtain the minimum stock which can be maintained in the bin 2 and 3 and 4 from the model. And bin 2, we have seen already, bin 2 constraint is not more applicable for kill number 1 to 6 if we utilize surge bin with at least 400 ton space for stock initially, and it is feasible to take full capacity production for from kill number 1 to 6. So this we have seen already, and now as we said, belt snap, tear, shoot, and structure issue takes up to around 12 to 14 hours to repair. For that time, to running the production continuously, buffer stock is needed. So minimum stock in storage bins and surge bins which can be maintained is from the simulation, and total minimum stock available bins is as below. So there is enough buffer stock to take the production from kill number 7, 8, and 9 for 2 shift. But for kill number 1 to 6, there is no enough buffer stock is not available to take the production for 2 shift in the case of any unplanned breakdown and shutdown. So we have taken the after all the optimistic scenario. So as a case 5. So in which we can maintain the enough buffer stock in the circuit, so there will not be any problem, because it is very much required to run the circuit continuously. So we have taken reclaim only for one shift, shift A. So you can see storage bins, first the stock level will go increase, and in another 2 shift the storage level will go slowly down. And in the surge bin transfer to surge bin from 1 to 5, we will take in the spell of 8 hours, but first spell to spell of 6 hours. So but in the first spell it will be need for 8 hours to accommodate the reclaiming material. And transfer to surge bin, it will need only 1 to 2 hours of end of the shift. And surge bin stock, you will see that it will be taken as a full at the end in the starting of the shift, and at the end of the day when storage bin will be at its minimum level, but surge bin stock will be at full. That material, that storage material can be used for as a buffer stock in the circuit for taking to shift breakdown. So later on, it is also observed that it will be enough to take 4 hours in A shift and 2 hours in B2 shift, C shift, transfer to surge bin production. Yeah. So again, as there is initially the surge bin was full, so we can't utilize in the A shift when the material we were reclaiming, we cannot utilize the surge bin space. So again, we will bin to constraint will be applicable and it will be live. So it is same as case 2 where no space is available for reclaiming stock in surge bin. Buffer stock which can be maintained and storage bin and surge bins are obtained from the model. Yeah. So here we can see after that storage bins to surge bin transfer can be taken at in the 2 spell of 8 and 6 hours. Then this circuit can be turned off for 10 hours in a day and can serve for save power. But after that, it will be also seen it will be required to run only for 8 hours only. So 16 hours this circuit can be turned off. At the end of C shift, when stock is at minimum level in the storage bins, then surge bin stock will be full to its capacity that can be used as a buffer stock. So with this strategy, the maximum production which can be taken from 1 to 6 is only reduced by 225 ton, which can be managed by kill number 7. So because we have already constrained from kill number 1 to 7, that much production can be taken. We cannot go beyond that. So that is manageable. But buffer stock will be increased by 750 ton. So that is good for the circuit to run the circuit in the long run. And after that, we have seen that buffer stock is enough to take 2 shift production from all kilns in case of any breakdown in logistic circuit. So here you can also see that the total stock for kill number 1 to 6 is minimum at the start of the day or either end of the day, which will be also enough to take the production for 2 hours 2 shift production. So means in the whole day at any point of time, the available stock in surge bins and storage bins is enough to take any 2 shift production in any unplanned breakdown and shutdown. So finally, we have calculated the final running hours of conveyor belts. So reclaiming, we need only for 8 hours reclaiming. Storage bins to surge bin, we will need only around 8 hours, and storage bins to kill, which will be required again as 24 hours, as should be continuously charging for kills. Yeah, Rajat, as we discussed, maximum production is taken from model which can be taken with 1 shift reclaiming only. For remaining 2 shift reclaiming can be turned off and still production can continue with the same production rate. Maximum production from kill number 1 to 7 with 1 shift reclaiming is obtained, as way feeder 3 and 4 feeding TPH become the constraint for more production. Surge bin 1 to 5 is only sufficient to take 6 hours production. After that, they again must be refilled. So the below strategies is optimum to take the production. A shift reclaiming and take storage bin to surge bin transfer from 10 to 6 a.m. 8 hours spell, and then 12 a.m. to 6 hours spell. 6 hours spell. Later on, it is also derived that it is enough to take total 8 hours production only in a day. Take storage bins to surge bin transfer 6 in only 1 to 2 hours of every shift. So with the above strategy, enough buffer stock can be maintained to take 2 shift production in case of any unplanned breakdown. So we have also recommended to increase the bay feeder 3 and 4 feeding rate to some amount, so that circuit can be easy. And bin 2, we also recommended to increase the bin 2 capacity in the circuit. And we also recommended that it is preferred to take production from 1 to 6 kill up to that level and deviate the remaining production to other kills like 7, 8, and 9 if possible. Yeah, after that, we have calculated the saving potential by saving power consumptions of running conveyor belts and other machines and motors. So this is the saving is total around 2 million INR per annum. Thanks. This is all from my side. If you have any query, let me know.
Thanks, Hemant. Very informative. Yeah, very in detail and lots of great cases there. So lots of insight. Thank you very much. I'm sure people will have questions for you on the platform, SpotMe platform. So if you can hang out there and join the discussion, then people will be looking forward to seeing you there. And to our viewers, we have Dr. Jeff Martin coming up. So stick with us, and as the hour turns, we'll go on to the next presentation. Thanks again, Hemant, and we'll have the next session soon. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.